Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I have a new video for you where I'll be going over my top 10 favorite characters to play in UniVersus. And before we start, just a disclaimer, this isn't a top 10 best competitive character list or a top 10 best character list overall. This is just a top 10 list of the characters that I enjoy playing the most right now. I by no means have the skills or the experience to make those kinds of lists. While you may see some top cut characters in my list because they are enjoyable to play, I'll stick to the casual list for now. I've been having a blast with this content grind, so as always, if you want to see more and you want to support the channel, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below about any opinions you have on my character list or any characters you think I should try out as well. Jumping right into it, we have our first character, Woman. Woman was the last new character revealed with the new girl power set, and at first, I honestly wasn't super excited. But after playing her at my second pre-release event, I realized she's pretty fun, especially with an attack heavier deck and using her resounding Screech card, which you can have up to 8 of in your deck. But she also lets you surprise your opponent with her defensive response. I find her fun to play and build on any symbol right now, especially Void Punches because I'm a big repeated 100% fan, and she turned out to be one of my favorite girl power characters. And up next, we have Vex. Being a big Critical Role fan, I was super excited for it to be joining UniVersus, especially the Vox Machina characters. Vex was the first of the 4 characters that I built, but then I switched to another character that may appear on this list later. But I really enjoy playing Vex for a couple of different reasons. One being, Mark Your Prey feels great to play with her on your attacks, and she's the best character to utilize Trinket as a strong defensive piece. I think she has fun builds on all her symbols right now, and I was originally playing her on Life, but with girl power, the air symbol got a lot of love with Lady Dagaunt's cards, and there's only more love coming with the new Attack on Titan cards. I think it feels great to play her on the air symbol right now. You can play a ton of attacks, clear them all out of your card pool with the air symbol, or using Storm of Arrows, and then you can play your last attack on your turn, ignoring progressive and giving it a damage boost. Coming up next, we have one of the newest additions to UniVersus, King Ghidorah. Most of the Godzilla characters turned out to be very strong and really fun to play, but King Ghidorah is super unique because while you only have 10 health, you have 3 counters on your character that resets your health to 10 every time you go down to 0, and then once you lose all those counters, you lose the game. This prevents any single massive attack from one-shotting your character, as your opponent needs to work their way through your counters first, unless they find a way to seal your character, which then disables that ability. This is the main reason why I really enjoy playing Ghidorah, because they're so unique and they really make your opponent rethink about how they're going to be playing their attacks. But a lot of Ghidorah's cards are also really cool as well, like Try Gravity Beam and Combined Firepower. It's also really cool to have another character that can really utilize all of the 10 health or less cards. This next character is one that I've been messing around with more recently, and that's Death Arms. Since I've been building a lot of decks recently that utilize City Rampage and 5 difficulty or greater support cards like History's Greatest Monster, I figured it'd be fun to try it out in a Death Arms build. This character might not be the best to utilize the City Rampage package, but I still find myself having a lot of fun playing him right now, especially being able to commit 2 rival foundations before they even go to combat. But speaking of City Rampage, next on the list is the king of monsters himself, Godzilla. Godzilla is just a super fun and destructive character that's relatively straightforward to play. He loves the big difficulty attacks, he makes them easier to play, and then you have his board wipe, which is always chaotic. Stringing high difficulty attacks and making them easier to play is one of my favorite things to do in the game right now, and Godzilla definitely does it very well. After Godzilla, we have Jester. Jester is definitely my favorite character out of the Critical Role characters. She can do a ton of cool stuff mechanically, like picking up spell cards, going through the whole Storm of Arrows combo, picking up big attacks like BFE, but also helps cycle out your opponent's momentum in case they care about face-ups and things like that. It's really cool just to be able to go pick up spell cards like a Wound Restore for some extra health, or a spell card with a specific block zone. I just really hope we get more spell cards in the future, and hopefully we just get a full Critical Role set. Up next, we have Mechagodzilla Kiryu. Now, I've only played Kiryu on Order so far, and I'm sure he's crazy on Earth as well, and probably good, but I'm having so much fun with him. Getting to draw for every 5 difficulty cards you play, whether it be an attack or as a block, is awesome, and he works really well with some older URs like Justice Rush and Wind Up Punch. It's nice to not have to worry about having that one extra momentum to pay for an EX or a powerful. Even though you only get to discard 1 from your hand, it can still juice up your attack a little with the speed or damage to kill. I was really surprised that out of all the Godzilla characters, Kiryu ended up being my favorite, but he just doesn't feel like a 5-hander. Starting off the last 3, we have Hawks. Hawks was actually the second character that I built when I started playing UniVersus, and I had a lot of fun playing the whole Feather package with Featherstorm, but it got a little old after a while. When the Yu Yu Hakusho set came out, I tried him again using a good build with Spirit Sword Ultimate and Dimension Sword, which worked pretty well, but it wasn't until Girl Power when I started really having fun playing him again. Using Hawks with the Kendo mid attacks is an insanely fun deck to play. It's very strong, and I love Hawks as a character, so I'm just happy that there's a fun deck to play again. If you've watched or seen any videos on this channel, then you may have guessed at least one character, and that is Mount Lady 2. I just find Mount Lady 2 to be a really enjoyable character to play with any of the decks I built with her on any symbol, especially Earth. It's really cool to be able to build up those counters on her and eventually hit 10 for your unblockable attack, because unblockable is just a gross thing in this game, and getting that +3 damage and committing that one face-up foundation is pretty powerful. Like I said before, my favorite thing to do in this game right now is playing a bunch of high difficulty attacks that make each one easier to play. Godzilla might do it better, but I think I have the most fun playing that kind of deck with Mount Lady. I see building up her counters as like a secondary objective for each match, which is really fun, and being able to spend the 10 for unblockable is always a great payoff. And last but not least, we have the first character that I've ever built and played in this game, my boy, Amajiki. Amajiki is my favorite character from the manga and the anime, and I told my friend Sebastian that if I start playing this game, he better be a playable character. And luckily enough, he's not only playable, but he's very strong and he's really fun. Amassing all that face-up momentum and having so many different buttons to press makes a match super entertaining to play. And the chaos support just doesn't stop, which is my favorite symbol right now, closely followed by Earth. But Amajiki just has so many crazy decks you can run with him right now. You can play all the armor cards, you can play weapon cards like Deception Dagger, or you can play ally cards like Black Abyss. He's just such a versatile character, having both great offensive and defensive abilities, that it makes it just a really enjoyable deck to play. But that is it for this list. I want to thank you all for watching and checking out the video, and like I said before, comment below, let me know what you think of my list, and I want to see what some of your favorite characters are to play as well. And if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe so we can help the channel grow. Thank you all so much again, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.